As businesses may be getting smaller in today's economy, managers know that their employees are the most valuable asset to the company. Many are reshaping their workplaces to be more accommodating and appreciative. On today's South Sound Business Report, we'll visit with leaders of the 2009 Top Places to Work. Coming up next. Welcome to the show. I'm Jeff Rounce.
And I'm Emily West. The Business Examiner has named the South Sound's Top Places to Work for the 5th year. This program recognizes the best in workplace employment practices. Dozens of companies and nonprofit organizations were nominated, and their managers voluntarily opened themselves to scrutiny, including a confidential survey of their employees.
Staff as customers. First, we'll meet Dan Yerrington, Chief Executive Officer of South Sound Bank, a relatively young financial institution where employees believe in their upper management because they care. It's a top place to work in the small and medium-sized firm.
Then, Community in Banking. A larger and older banking institution is this year's large business top place to work. We'll visit with its CEO, who is known to flip a mean flapjack. Brian Vance will tell us how they involve employees in just about every strategic decision.
Nonprofit Angels. David Curry, Executive Director of Tacoma Rescue Mission, a local social service agency that has been serving persons with very little for the past 97 years. It's again the top place to work among South Sound nonprofits. But first, we welcome Dan Yerrington, President and CEO of Olympia's South Sound Bank, the small business top place to work. Congratulations.
Well, thanks, Jeff.
Dan, I mentioned earlier that yours is a relatively young bank. And I know that you've been yourself in financial services for many years, but tell us about South Sound Bank and its local roots.
Sure, Jeff. Well, South Sound was started roughly 9 years ago by a group that had been with, including me, that had been with another bigger bank that was purchased by an out-of-state bank.
So you've created a new institution, a new financial institution with some old familiar co-workers and friends.
That's correct. Yes.
Does that help you in terms of establishing a workplace culture, which is what we're talking about with Top Places? Does it help to know the people as you're getting started?
Yes, I think that's probably one of the biggest advantages we had as a startup. Not only the 4 that I mentioned that went way back, there were several others that went back as far as probably 15 or 20 years, and having worked together all that time, there wasn't a getting acquainted period at the start of South Sound Bank. So everybody knew everybody else and how they did business, and it was a really good fit. Chemistry, I guess, is the best way to put it.
But of course, it takes more than just the management or the ownership group to form a bank. So you did have to hire employees. You must have had a sense for the kind of people that you wanted to be working at the bank.
Yes. What we try to hire in the past and past, future, and present is personality. I mean, it's always nice to have a banking background, but you can teach that. You can't teach personality. And that's what people want to see when they come to the bank. They expect us to be able to add and subtract, but they want to be able to hear, something a little more than that.
So it's your management team, it's your shareholders and directors and all. Tell me about the part that co-workers play in creating a workplace culture. It's difficult to define. I've not ever seen a book that says step 1, step 2, step 3. How did it happen for South Sound Bank?
Well, I think part of it was having the people together that had worked together, but part of it's luck too, frankly. I mean, even though you have a group that knows the business and knows how to work together, the circumstances just have to be right to make it all come together. In our case, it came together very well.
Tell me what it looks like when it comes together. Has it been a successful business decision to focus on the workplace culture?
Very much so. It's successful. Well, for instance, all of our employees are stockholders.
All right.
And so we think that really gives them an advantage over other banks or other businesses for that matter, where if you're just an employee, that's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're also an owner, I think that gives you more incentive in the long run for the success of the company, which has been one of the big things for us, I think, because we have been very successful.
It's a challenging day for banking, isn't it?
That's putting it mildly, Jeff. It's very challenging.
How important is it to have the whole team on the same page?
Well, I think it's critical now more than ever because there are so many, I mean, we're being bombarded, as you are, every day by all the bad news and what's going on Wall Street and how that's affecting everybody. And banks, even small banks like us, are kind of thrown into the mix there, where some people think we're all doing the same things that are going on Wall Street, which it couldn't be further from the truth.
One of the judges in this Top Places to Work presentation made note that your team members report, and this was on a survey that was done of all your employees, they report that they believe in upper management. As a leader, that's got to be gratifying. And I would ask, how does one encourage or stimulate that kind of a loyalty?
Well, I think it's mainly being, steady in your decision making and having a consistent message. Where I know I've worked places before, you may have too, where the executive suite kind of changed, daily, and what was important and how they looked at things. And I mean, you have to adapt to things, but you need to have a steady message that can show everybody this is where we're going, and this is why we want to do that, and how we're going to get there.
And since, as you mentioned, all of your employees are also shareholders, I would assume they have a certain access to information about how the business is operating and how well it's doing.
Yes, we have weekly meetings that we get into a fair amount of that, not the detail. We do that usually on a monthly basis, but all of our information is available to anybody that wants to see it.
So what's the future hold for South Sound Bank?
Well, the short-term future, we have a branch in Shelton that we're working on right now, and that'll probably be online this year.
Okay.
We have a branch in Tumwater that we're hopeful will be online next year, and we're trying to keep up with the banking trends in terms of offering what people want, and I think we're doing a pretty good job of it.
So from expansion, you're going to have to be identifying some additional hires that can come in and join the culture.
Correct. In fact, we already are, and we've been talking with several people for a while, just anticipating that.
Well, congratulations on your recognition, Dan. Yeah. Thanks very much for being with us. Top place to work in the small business category.
Thank you very much, Jeff, and we're really honored for the award.
Pleased to have you here. Up next, Emily will visit with another banker, this time with a bigger footprint, but with employees who say they also have fun on the job. Stay with us.
Business success is not just about the competition, it's about being on the leading edge of your changing market. Enter the Business Examiner, your award-winning source for local business news, information, and data. In-depth stories, business trends, and market conditions for your industry in print and online. Get the free BE Daily business news delivered to your email every weekday afternoon. Stay on the leading edge for your market and subscribe at businessexaminer.com. The Business Examiner, your South Sound business information resource.